Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CarAlarm podcast. My name is Alex,
And I'm Gavin.
and once again, we're doing weekly wrestling review. A week late
Because we're a little slow.
We're not very consistent or responsible, so this is what
And
you
it's
get.
also the first time in ever that it's been so cold in the south that water pipes have threatened to break.
Yeah,
So
it's
been that too.
And the holidays, and well, at least this is the first episode of 2018. We've made it into 2018. We're still alive, so that's cool.
And we're still strong.
They're still strong-ish.
It's still cold outside though.
Yeah.
But let's get into this.
And in my second story, still cold up here. Yeah, let's get into Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live from January the 1st and 2nd, I believe.
Yeah.
Straight into the new year with wrestling. Monday Night Raw opens up with Alexa Bliss, questioning Kurt Angle's decision to make a match between her and Asuka for tonight. Kurt Angle says that Bliss is lucky that her title isn't on the line yet before leaving to go to the ring. Nothing much there yet. We'll get into Alexa Bliss and Asuka a little bit later on. Kurt Angle says 2018 will be a great year, and in 3 weeks, Raw will celebrate the 25th anniversary.
Now, see, I thought this had already passed.
Yeah.
So seeing it coming up now, I'm kind of excited and scared of what's going to happen.
Well, so the last time they had a big celebration was the 1000th episode, right?
Yeah.
1000th episode of Monday Night Raw, where The Rock and Big Show, CM Punk, and all of them were fighting it out. So, what kind of special thing do you think they'll do for the 25th anniversary episode?
Brock Lesnar actually has a match.
On Raw?
Yes.
I don't think so. No, out of the question. I don't think so.
Fine then, Big Show and Kane have a match.
Probably.
That'll be the main event.
In a last man standing match. Big Show versus Kane.
There'll be fire and brimstone and bulldogs out there.
And steel steps.
Yes.
And every table broken.
In the ring.
Again. Yeah, the ring will break.
Time.
Yeah. Wow. Let's act like this is a new thing that the ring just broke.
Yeah.
Anyway. Kurt Angle also says that John Cena has entered himself into the Royal Rumble.
Now, I missed that. I don't know how, but I missed that.
Yeah, he said Cena. I don't know why they had Kurt Angle nonchalantly announce it on Raw instead of Cena doing it. You'd think they need the time because it's not like they're using their time for any other good reason.
Exactly.
Like storytelling. So.
Oh, by the way, John Cena entered himself the Royal Rumble. Yeah. No big deal.
He also announces that the Women's Royal Rumble will have 30 entrants.
Duh.
Yeah. So, well, because there's not 30 women on the roster, right?
There's not?
I don't believe so.
I think there's like 32 or 33.
Why don't we do the math here on the podcast? Exclusive women's, whatever you want to call it, chalk up, where we count the women. If you want to go for it real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to open up Microsoft Word here. Hopefully my computer won't crash.
All right, because we don't have any paper up here. I don't know where.
No, we don't. I don't know where the notepad is. We have a little paper airplane, but I don't think that's going to be good enough for us. So
it can work for me.
All right. So for Monday Night,
I can put tallies on this thing.
For Monday Night Raw, we have Alexa Bliss, Asuka.
Well, we can't count the champion.
Okay, let's do it. Let's count it and remove them later just to satisfy my brain.
All right.
So I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. Asuka, we have, I guess,
Jax.
Alicia. Okay, I'll put Nia. I spelled Alicia wrong, but act like that says Alicia Fox. Nia. We have...
Absolution.
Yeah, Absolution. I'll just put a 3 there. And we have Bayley and Sasha. And Dana. Is that everyone on Raw?
Mickie James.
Mickie, okay. Is that everyone on Raw?
Let's see.
Anyone we're forgetting? Any NXT people? I think we got Absolution's the only NXT people. I guess Paige is in that. So, I guess that's everyone, huh?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, now for SmackDown Live, we have Natalya.
Naomi. Charlotte.
Becky. and the Riot Squad.
With Pigeon Face.
Who else do we have? We have Carmella and Tamina. And I think that's everyone.
That's 20 people.
Yeah, that's not close to minus 2.
Yeah, so
you
that's
get 18.
That's 28 people.
28?
Nope, 18. Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry, my math's a little broken today. Must be the cold weather.
So that's 18 people. That means we need 12 more. And that's assuming Charlotte and Bliss won't have title matches at the Rumble. I don't think they will, because I don't think they have the women for it. So, that means we're either getting returns, NXT debuts, or probably both.
That's probably what'll happen.
Okay, so I guess we can predict on who we think will come back and who we think will debut later on. Once the women's division is said and done at the end of SmackDown and everything. We can do that then. So yeah, there you go. We have 18 women in a 30 women Royal Rumble. That's going to be very interesting. Every other entrant is going to have to be a surprise. So that'll be fun. Next up, right after he mentions the 30 women's Royal Rumble, Kurt Angle that is, the Bar interrupts. Sheamus says that they should talk about last week's travesty in them losing the championships to Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins, which we didn't get to talk about last week, but
I didn't like this.
I didn't either.
Jason, and it's
weird.
Jason should be doing something else. He doesn't belong
So should
here.
Seth.
Seth should be fighting for the tag championship.
Not with Jason Jordan.
With
though.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, with Roman. Or, I mean, yeah,
Can't
I agree.
be with Dean. Can't be with Dean because he
No.
had elbow surgery.
Yeah, just because Roman's Intercontinental Champion, they're still
or heck,
the
bring
Shield,
in
right?
Finn Balor.
Oh, we're going to talk about Finn Balor later on. So I don't want that to happen. Keep Finn Balor out of this whole thing. This is a mess anyway.
But I mean, come on. If you're going to have anyone do it, why Jason Jordan? Instead of Roman.
I don't know. I guess he was the... I don't know. I don't care. Whatever.
I would rather see Jason Jordan and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, me too. Jason Jordan's a good wrestler. It's just that this character, this story, it's just kind of a cluster, and it's not... It's far from compelling.
It's a clusterfuck of bullshittery.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good way to sum it up. Cesaro accuses Kurt Angle of favoritism, giving Jason Jordan that spot, replacing Dean Ambrose. They show footage of Kurt Angle entering the arena down the ramp to hug Jason Jordan after their title victory. And they demand a rematch when Jason Jordan enters.
By himself.
Jason says that he earned his title shot and threatened to shut Cesaro up.
And send him back to the dentist.
Yeah. Kurt Angle makes a match between Cesaro and Jason Jordan before things get out of control, but Seth Rollins interrupts before the match can start. Seth says that Jason has a lot to learn and that he will be in Jordan's corner, but that he does expect Jason Jordan to lose.
And he called Jason Jordan an idiot.
Yes, he did. Deservingly.
Yeah, because I mean, you're going to come out here with against two people. It's like, yeah, I'll fight one of you, but then not expect the other one to. It's just dumb.
So Jordan does end up winning with a pop-up neck breaker, which I don't know what they're calling his finisher. If they said it, I didn't hear it, but that's what it is to me. That's what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Jordan wins. Good job. It wasn't really. It was. I mean, it's kind of clean, right?
Yeah.
It was a pretty clean victory.
Nothing really happened except Sheamus tried or looked like he was going to go, and then Seth just killed him.
Yeah, Seth just killed him. So that's the end of that whole segment. Any thoughts? I guess we already said all.
Besides, it's dumb.
Yeah.
No, that's
all
it.
Right. Next up is Bray Wyatt versus Apollo Crews. This was a better match than I thought.
Yeah.
But before the match started, we get a little surprise of Dana Brooke, who has apparently joined Titus Worldwide now.
And looks like a basic white chick.
She looks like a teacher from what's that movie Bad Teacher, I think?
Yeah.
She's like she would be like in the porn version. I don't mean that as an insult to Dana Brooke. I just mean that it's not I don't mean that in a bad way at all to Dana Brooke. I just mean that it's not the actual version of, it's not as like high budget, high quality. It's not a film. It's just she's a pro wrestler she grapples, and then she's wearing the little teacher outfit, so, it might be porno of bad teacher. Let's get off this topic, I guess. We get Bray Wyatt versus Apollo Crews. One would assume this would be a squash match. It wasn't quite, but it kind of was.
Yeah,
in a way.
It was good though.
Yeah, it was. Of course, Bray Wyatt ended up winning with his sister Abigail, and afterwards, Matt Hardy, who's on the Titantron, say that last week he transformed Bray's wicked fireflies into his woken warriors.
I am liking this.
Hard sentence to get out. I'm liking it too. I hope they don't meet in a match until the Rumble, though.
Yeah.
They have time. They can build this whole thing, even if it's not that progressive, because it doesn't seem like. I'm sure the story for the next few weeks will just be the same, of them just promoting each other. Hopefully, it'll progress in some way.
The final week before it, just Bray Wyatt kills Matt Hardy.
I don't know anything. I can't think of anything. But something. I hope something happens where it's not just the same. It doesn't just start getting repetitive like a lot of Wyatt stuff does.
Yeah.
So yeah. He says that Bray Wyatt is the consumer of terrestrial entities, but that he will delete Bray Wyatt. And then he starts laughing, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I liked it the first time it happened. Now it kind of seems like everyone liked it, so they're just going to overuse it till we get tired of it.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I did like how it went into
all the
faces and then all that. It was definitely trippy.
Yeah.
And then you have Wyatt over there looking actually concerned, like I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah,
Someone help out here.
Glitching out. So yeah, there you go. I don't want to make a big deal of this again because I think we talked enough about it a few weeks ago. But let's do a little mini rant on Nia Jax and Enzo again, because we have Alexa Bliss talking backstage with Nia Jax, and she ends up forcing Nia to choose between Alexa Bliss or Enzo Amore, because she's trying to bring Enzo Amore some chicken noodle soup, because Enzo is, of course, sick in real life, not kayfabe. And Nia ends up choosing Enzo Amore, leaving Bliss to fight Asuka on her own. But before that match happens, I want to talk about Enzo and Nia Jax, because first I want to talk about Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, because I still don't believe that they're friends.
No,
I don't know how I'm supposed to. Alexa Bliss was talking to Nia Jax, and Jax was also talking that way, that they are just best friends, and this is a huge decision. You either leave my best friend behind, or you go and bang a sick person,
Yeah.
So, where does that come from? Why would Nia Jax want to be around Alexa Bliss at all?
Yeah, Alexa Bliss kind of just treats her like crap. Anyways,
they royally ruined that whole friendship storyline. And then they just act like it never happened. We were friends the whole time.
It's like two freshman high school girls getting into a fight and then becoming friends again like it never happened. It's dumb. It's just dumb.
Yeah. I guess that's all I really need.
And then you have Nia Jax around Enzo Amore giggling like a Japanese schoolgirl. It just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Honestly, I really considered just fast forwarding through this whole thing, but I didn't do it just so we could talk about it, because I think Nia Jax and Enzo Amore are gonna end up being. Are they in that mixed tournament thing?
I assume they would be.
Honestly, if they're not, I'm gonna be disappointed. I don't like this whole Nia Jax and Enzo thing, but if they're not in that mixed tournament, why would they not be in there? There's the only romance storyline in WWE right now.
It's fighting.
Yeah, and Miz is gone, so you can't have Miz and Maurice in there.
But he's supposed to return.
Yes. Yeah, he'll return next week. We'll get to that when we get to that segment.
So
first up, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. Crap. Never mind. Just continue.
Okay. We have Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. Not for the title. It's a non-title match. Pretty good match. I liked it. I liked a good portion of it. I think they could have a really good match. They probably will at the Royal Rumble. Well, no, actually they won't. Because Alexa Bliss probably won't be defending her title because Asuka said she's in the Rumble, correct?
Yes.
So there you go.
Very, very slowly.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss ended up tapping to an armbar. That's it. Clean, of course. Asuka's not going to win dirty yet. she was heel in NXT, but that was after like 2 years of her absolutely murdering everyone else. So next up, we get Braun Strowman versus Rhino. Even though JoJo claims that it's Heath Slater versus Braun Strowman, when she announces them, she says, accompanied by Rhino, Heath Slater. So she's wrong there because we ended up getting Rhino versus Strowman. It is said that Rhino requested this match to show Heath an example of toughness.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, and of course, Rhino gets absolutely destroyed. Braun gets a mic because Heath Slater's on the ring yelling for Rhino. He tells Heath to either stand at ringside and shut up or get these hands.
That was
like your partner.
That was pretty funny.
That was absolutely wonderful. I love Braun Strowman. Slater does get in the ring. They jump Braun Strowman, Slater and Rhino, that is. The Strowmans ends up knocking off Slater and pinning Rhino with a power slam. Then he power slams Heath, and presumably because of the crowd chants, he power slams Rhino again.
And yeah, they're dead.
Yeah, both of them are gone. Bye. Here comes some more budget cuts. No, I'm kidding. I hope Rhino and Heath stay.
Me too. They're
the
pretty
roster.
awesome.
Next up, we have, I believe, well, okay, we'll get to the whole Valor thing later because they have a part of it here, and we'll get to it in a little bit. We'll go to Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship with no championship advantage. So if Roman Reigns were to get DQ'd, Joe would win the championship because of last week he got DQ'd and so on.
But last week he deserved to though.
Yeah.
Try and kill the guy who just broke your friend's arm.
Yep. This was a good match though. I liked it.
Did you see in the interview though, when Joe said that he didn't care that he broke Ambrose's arm, that Ambrose had to sit at home living off his wife's paycheck?
Yes, I did. Right in front of Renee Young.
You saw her reaction to that?
Yes.
That was great.
That was absolutely wonderful.
She's gonna kill him.
Yeah. Maybe Renee Young will be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. Roman ends up winning with a spear after a pretty good match, retaining his Intercontinental Championship. Duh. Roman Reigns not gonna lose that IC title anytime soon.
He did finally beat Joe.
Yeah, he did. Clean. Next up, we have Drew Gulak and Arya Daivari out because Enzo could not make it. Gulak reads a note from Enzo Amore that says he's sick and that he can't defend his championship against Cedric Alexander this week. When Cedric Alexander comes out and proposes a match, since Enzo is injured, between either Gulak or Arya Daivari. Gulak and Arya decide they will only fight Cedric Alexander in a tag team match and tell Cedric to find a partner. But they say he doesn't have any friends. Cedric says, I'm sure someone will come out, something along those lines.
And then the weirdest guy comes out.
And then we get Goldust, which I'm sure is illegal by the Cruiserweight rules. But we get Goldust to come help Cedric Alexander.
And he scares the crap out of the basic white boy in Daivari.
Yeah, he does a little thing, and Daivari and Gulak fall down. That's it. He offers his friendship to Cedric Alexander, and the match is pretty short, honestly.
Yeah, they just kill Gulak and Daivari.
Yeah, Cedric hits Gulak with a lumbar check, and they win. Now, I don't mean this in any offensive way, but has Goldust ever partnered with a non-black person? Because he had R-Truth and Booker T, and then he had Cody Rhodes. Yeah, we had Stardust.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's it though. That's pretty much it.
I don't mean anything by it. It's just a funny coincidence.
Yeah.
So yeah, just thought I'd bring that up. I don't guess Goldust is gonna be a constant part of the Cruiserweight. I think they just decided to give a little random thing.
To give him something to do.
Yeah. Surprising. I was thinking for sure, 100% Hideo Itami was gonna come out.
Yeah.
Itami's new to the Cruiserweight. You want to put him on Raw more, so I was like, okay, Itami's gonna come out. But then Goldust came out, so it was a nice little surprise. I definitely didn't expect anyone but Itami.
I did too.
Next up, we have backstage Finn Balor talking to Kurt Angle. He announces his Royal Rumble entry. And Kurt Angle asks if he's found opponents for Elias, Dallas, and Curtis Axel. So he has a 6-man tag match tonight. Balor says he has, and Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows step up behind him as, I guess, the official reformation of the Bullet Club. Styles never actually left the club. He just got drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that. So, do we have a 4-person Bullet Club team soon, maybe? Hopefully, probably. I'd like to see Balor and Styles. They had that amazing match at, what was it? What pay-per-view was that? Was it TLC? Yeah, it was TLC. Balor and Styles. That was an amazing match.
Yes, it was.
So that's the match we get. Elias welcomes The Miz to Raj out in the ring. Dallas has a cowbell, and Curtis Axel has bells. I don't know what kind of bells, but he has bells on like a little stick. They dedicate the song to The Miz, who they say will return next week. Gallows, Anderson, and Balor interrupt and walk to the ring for their match. It feels cool to say that. All 3 of them together. Sadly, I'm sure it only happened because WWE didn't know what else to do with Finn Balor. Because for some reason... Or the other guys. Especially the other guys. The Good Brothers, as they are so called. The match is not that long. Of course, the newly reformed Bullet Club
wins.
Balor pins Dallas with a coup de grace. And that's the end of that. Do you think they're going to be a consistent team? And if so, do you think we're getting the Shield versus the Bullet Club?
I hope so.
Because that's the immediate thing on my mind that I want.
I want to see that.
AJ Styles is great and all, but Balor and Anderson are the 2 that really started the thing, that are in WWE at least.
Yeah.
So, we need them more than we need Styles in the Bullet Club. And if that's the case, why don't you get AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Anderson, and Gallows, and then you get Rollins, Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and then you get Kurt Angle because he's a Shield member now.
Yeah,
so you get a 4-on-4 Survivor Series tag match. There you go. I guess Monday Night Raw stole the spotlight, but
yep.
Who cares? So that was probably my favorite part of the night. The match was not that great. It was fine, but just that in general.
Was good enough.
Yep. We have the main event segment, which is Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman entering. It was announced that I think the whole night Kane would show up to confront Lesnar, I believe.
Yeah.
So we expected that. Heyman assures Brock Lesnar's victory at the Royal Rumble, and after a lot of a Paul Heyman promo, which I could not even attempt to repeat and do him justice, he really just assures everyone Lesnar's victory as always.
And assures that if Braun and Kane decide to jump Lesnar's just going to kill him first.
Yes. So Kane enters afterwards and chokeslams Brock Lesnar, but right as Kane leaves the ring, Lesnar just steals Taker's gimmick, sits up, which they said which Kane did. Kane does do that, but it's not his thing.
No.
That's the Undertaker's thing. They can't just act like Taker doesn't do that. But he sat up and sent Kane over the top rope before they started to brawl, and the entire locker room broke him up.
Yeah, the entire locker room was out there
immediately. As soon as Kane went over that rope, everyone was already at ringside. That means they started running out as soon as Lesnar sat up. They're like, uh-oh, shit's about to go down hard. We gotta get out here now. So yeah, that was a terrible brawl.
Yeah, it was.
Usually WWE has some pretty good brawl fights. Of course, we have to bring up Taker and Lesnar. Joe and Lesnar.
Speaking of
most
Taker,
recent best one, I think. Yeah.
I wanna ask you something. All right, so here's something I was thinking about earlier. If Kane wins the Universal Championship,
okay,
and then the Undertaker enters and wins the Royal
Rumble, we're gonna get Kane versus Taker
at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship.
On paper, cool. In actuality, that's gonna be absolute garbage. They're just gonna flop around till they get concussions, and then they're gonna have to take them out on stretchers with a vacant Universal Championship. I love both of them, but that's what's gonna happen. Kane's gonna go home and be mayor or whatever he's doing, and Taker's just gonna come back next year and get more concussions. So it's not gonna end well for anyone.
It's a cool idea, though.
Yeah. On paper. On paper. So is Sting and Undertaker, but WWE knows how to ruin stuff, so. That's it, Monday Night Raw. We're done with Raw.
For now.
So, yeah, for now. So let's move on to SmackDown Live. So AJ Styles opens SmackDown Live, making his way to the ring, and he welcomes everyone to the first SmackDown Live of 2018. He says that he's made some New Year's resolutions himself. Now, you didn't see SmackDown Live, correct?
No.
Okay, so this will all be news to you. His first resolution is to defend his WWE World Championship at WrestleMania. Successfully defend it, not just put it on the line.
Yeah.
His second is to beat Sami Zayn tonight. After last week, Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Did you see that whole thing?
Don't think so.
It was a bit of a mess. Shane McMahon ended up costing AJ Styles the victory. Because Kevin has... Well, I'll explain in a second because we'll get to it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's a little convoluted.
Shane came out to try and stop...
Yeah, to eject Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and then he cost him the match.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, this is getting a bit much for me following this. So, Daniel Bryan enters to tell us whether or not Kevin will be in Sami's corner after the events of last week. Before Daniel Bryan can even pick up his microphone, Shane McMahon interrupts. Shane says that last week he intended to eject Sami from the ring and apologizes for inadvertently costing AJ Styles his match. Shane accuses Daniel Bryan of favoritism after letting Sami Zayn at ringside and doesn't think Daniel Bryan would stop Kevin from being in Zayn's corner tonight. So, Shane declares himself in AJ Styles' corner. Daniel Bryan says since Kevin and Shane will be at ringside, he might as well be too. So he will also be at ringside, though he does not say he'll be in anyone's specific corner. And that's the end of the opening segment.
Well, then that's going to be a clusterfuck.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Next up, we'll get into the main event later. I spaced them out. Usually, I'll put the segments together if they correlate together, but it's just so much going on with that main event scene right now.
We're just going to let it cool down a little bit.
Yeah. We get Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus the Usos for the tag titles, and Benjamin and Gable win clean.
Really?
Yes. However, neither man in the ring was legal at the time.
What?
So the referee restarts the match, and then the Usos win clean.
Wait a minute.
There was so much going on. Both men had tagged, and then they had done like a combo, and then both those men were thrown to the outside. So the men who had tagged out were both in the ring, and Gable ended up pinning the wrong Uso. And so yeah, we had a false tag title win there. But a really good match though, nonetheless. Next up, we have the Fashion Police versus the Bludgeon Brothers. The match never starts as the Bludgeon Brothers take out Breeze and Dango immediately. The Ascension attempts to come out and save them, but they are also immediately destroyed, and that's the end of that.
So, I like the Bludgeon Brothers.
Me too.
But I kind of wish the Fashion Police get a win for once.
I like to see them do something after all the Fashion Files and stuff, which is apparently now exclusive to YouTube, so that's not going to be on SmackDown anymore.
Which is not good.
No.
I'm going to miss it.
We're in the midst of a U.S. Championship tournament, if you didn't know.
Yeah, I remember that.
So the next match of that, we only get one of those matches this week. Xavier Woods versus Aiden English. The winner will face, I believe, Jinder Mahal. Woods ends up winning.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, it was a fine match. Not too long, really. Xavier Woods hit his little springboard. I don't know springboard, but second rope. Halfway across the ring, elbow drop,
Oh, yeah.
And he wanted to move with that. So, and he does move on to face Jinder Mahal in the semifinals. And then we're getting Bobby Roode versus either Zack Ryder or Mojo Rawley. So,
I think it's going to be Mojo Rawley that fights Bobby Roode.
Yeah, that'll be next week. Probably, right? He's face, unless Zack Ryder cheats, and then maybe Rawley will cost Zack the match against Roode, but I can't see why Roode would just destroy Zack Ryder in 3 seconds.
It's going to be Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal for the U.S. title.
Yep, it will, and I hope Bobby Roode wins.
I do too, because I don't want Jinder Mahal with the title.
Honestly, the U.S. title is probably a good spot for Mahal, because he's good in the ring, especially his match with AJ Styles is the best match I think he's ever had, probably in his life. I haven't seen
He's definitely been getting better.
Yeah, so he at least deserves to be on TV and in a good spot, But Bobby Roode, I think, deserves it more.
Yeah.
He hasn't had nothing yet. He had absolute no part in Survivor Series. He was just nothing there. Pretty much everyone in that match was nothing but Shane, Triple H, Angle, and thank God Strowman.
Yeah.
But I think Rude. I don't feel like I should say he needs it, but I think he might need it,
He does.
and that's sad.
Yeah, because Bobby Roode is glorious.
Yes, he is.
He's just great all around. I do think that Bobby Roode should win the title, and then Mahal and that him should fight for
yeah,
it
they could have
for
a
a
feud
while.
for it. Yeah. And maybe even Mahal could get a win, get the title, and then Rude could get it back or whatever. You know, they do that often enough. That's fine. I'm fine with Jinder Mahal being successful, but the world title was not the spot for him at the time.
No.
It was definitely good for improving his skill fast, probably. So that's good, I guess. It's one good thing that came out of it. Not much. But that's one. Next up, we have Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina versus the Riot Squad. The Riot Squad ends up winning after Liv Morgan pushes Tamina off the top rope behind the ref's back, and Logan hits a really big knee to the head of Tamina while she was on the ground, and got the win off of that. So
I don't like the Riot Squad.
me neither. Ruby Riot's a good wrestler. She's definitely that.
They're definitely Ruby's a good wrestler. The other two are okay.
Liv Morgan's pretty good. I think Liv Morgan's good. Sarah Logan, I haven't seen much of her. I didn't watch all of the Mae Young Classic tournament. She was in that, I know. But after the match, Ruby Riott announces the entire squad's entry into the Rumble. Duh, they need every woman on the roster but the champions. When Charlotte interrupts. Charlotte says that actions do have consequences, and she introduces Naomi, who wants some revenge. And then she also introduces a returning Becky Lynch after what, like 3 weeks it's been? I mean, I didn't see how they beat up Becky Lynch, but Jesus, that's a long time for a kayfabe beat up, you know?
Yeah.
A fight breaks out between the two teams, and Becky, Naomi, and Charlotte end up getting the leg up and clearing out the Riot Squad as the Riot Squad walks down the ramp. Yeah, the segment ends. Yeah, for now. Do you think the Riot Squad and Absolution will just fight each other at the Rumble?
Yeah.
Like there will be at least one spot where the Riot Squad and Absolution run at each other.
It's gonna happen.
Probably. You know what? I'm game for it. I'm not hyped about the women's division. I'm hyped about the women's Rumble because that's gonna be great. The women's division, however, is far down on my list of things I'm excited about.
Which is sad.
Yeah, it is very sad. I'm a big fan of a lot of the women wrestlers, but there's just nothing interesting happening. Next up, we have the main event: AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn with Shane, Daniel, and Kevin Owens at ringside. So about midway through the match, the ref was knocked out of the ring, and Kevin Owens tried to pick the ref, and he picked the ref up to help him up, kind of, and then he just fake blocked him from getting in the ring because AJ Styles went for a what's it called when you grab an arm with your arm and then you grab an arm with your legs and you roll them up like that? Crucifix, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
AJ has that in the ring, and Owens is blocking the ref. The ref ends up pushing Owens out of the way, but it's too late, and Sami Zayn kicks out. Shane McMahon gets frustrated at Owens trying to interfere, and he pushes Kevin Owens down, and then he tells the ref to make Kevin Owens leave. The ref, of course, does it because Shane's his boss. Yeah. And then Daniel Bryan picks up the mic and says, if Kevin's leaving, Shane McMahon might as well leave as well. So he kicks Shane McMahon out. While the distraction's happening, Shane McMahon doesn't leave yet. Sami Zayn ends up hitting a haluva kick on AJ Styles, rolling him up, and getting the win. And they exit that way. AJ Styles, frustrated as all hell that he's just got caught up in these four guys' absolute mess. Tells Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan to stop bickering like children, and he tells them to make a handicap match with Owens and Sami Zayn. He says, you might as well make me in a handicap match. Kind of a joke or a sarcastic thing, like you're being unfair to me this much, you might as well just make me in a handicap match. And Daniel Bryan says that's a great idea. Let's put your championship on the line at the Royal Rumble in a handicap match against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And that's how the show closes. Yeah. So as much as it's going on in the main event scene, this really is good storytelling every week for all five of these guys now.
Yeah.
As much as I'd rather Bryan and Shane not to be in the main event scene because they're not wrestlers.
Yeah.
is really good. It's far better than anything else WWE's doing story-wise, so it's definitely interesting that we have a handicap match for the world title.
Yeah, they will
Well,
use the Freebird thing, but still.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly, because if you remember Brie and Nikki winning the Divas Championship, I think they just right in half, they just both had it. Or no, it was it Brie and Nikki, or was it Layla and, Michelle McCool had it, right? They had that thing,
Yeah.
like, actually cut in half or something?
I think so.
Something like that. Something along those lines. Regardless, this isn't the first time a championship would be shared between two wrestlers. A
Yeah,
singles
like
title.
every time the New Day wins the tag titles.
Yeah. Yeah, except just in a singles setting, which really isn't that strange, especially if you consider the New Day's thing. So, just give the Freebird rule to Owens and Zayn and they can win the title. I hope they don't, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sure Shane McMahon's going to try to prevent that. But I guess this is a Daniel Bryan heel turn of obvious proportions, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, he's frustrated as all hell, which I would be too.
Well, I'd say AJ Styles is more frustrated than Daniel Bryan. AJ Styles had nothing to do with any of this before 2 weeks ago.
And then all of a sudden he's just brought into this bullshit.
Yeah, and now he's defending his title in a handicap match. So this is great. It's weirdly, it feels new. It's not a one-on-one feud for the world title. And I know there's nothing wrong with that, of course. That's basically what wrestling's built upon.
Yeah.
But this is like a 5-way feud, and only 3 of the people can fight for the world title, and 2 of those people are best friends in the whole world, and the other 2 people are
the boss.
Yeah, are the 2 bosses, who have a relatively equal amount of power, kayfabe, and AJ Styles is just the world champion, caught up in the middle of this absolute chaos that he cannot
kill
control.
Everybody.
Yeah, he just wants to just get away. Go to Raw, join the Bullet Club, AJ.
Take the title with you.
So this is I'm enjoying this a lot.
Just be like CM Punk, ditch and go to Raw, take the title with you.
Yep. Okay, let's get to our Women's Royal Rumble predictions for what women we think will join or debut or return in the Royal Rumble. Because I have my bet on Trish and Lita, not one, but both of them.
Yeah.
Lita has wrestled recently, I think, in an indie show, and I'm sure Trish wouldn't mind coming in. It's the Royal Rumble; you don't have to do that much. And I'm sure NXT women, probably Ember Moon. I think that's safe, probably. Maybe Nikki Cross.
Yeah, both of them would. Both of them are more than likely to come in. If not to be on the main roster, just for a one-night thing, like they usually do with the Rumble.
Exactly. They don't have when they're coming in the Rumble. They don't have to move to Raw or SmackDown. You know, I mean, Rusev, I think, was the first person, one of the first people in NXT. He just debuted in the Rumble, and we didn't see him until a year later on the main roster. So, there's nothing wrong with just having someone in the Rumble and not officially drafting them to the roster. In fact, you shouldn't do that with pretty much everyone that's about to be in this Rumble.
Yeah, because then that's just going to overcrowd everything.
And it's going to absolutely destroy NXT. So, any other women you think would return? There's been rumor that Caitlyn, you remember her, AJ Lee, team, that she might be wrestling again. So, I didn't read much into that. I'm just bringing it up.
Could have Awesome Kong versus Nia Jax in the Rumble.
Awesome Kong retired, I do believe.
So did Floyd Mayweather.
Fair enough. I'm sure a one-night deal wouldn't be bad for her anyway. I'm sure she'd get paid a good enough money to do it.
Yeah.
So, that'd be cool to see. What was her name in WWE? It wasn't Awesome Kong. Karma. That's what it was. So, there you go.
Which is still equally terrifying.
What about Beth Phoenix? She was recently introduced, is what I was trying to say. We can ignore that little kerfuffle there. She was recently introduced into the Hall of Fame, so
she might come back for one thing.
Recent. Am I wrong about the recently thing? Was that last year or was that 2 years ago?
Either way, that's recent enough.
Yeah, it is. I think definitely I'm betting on Trish and Lita. And Ember Moon as well.
I see Nikki Cross as well, because,
Yeah.
you might as well bring people in. I mean, you've got 12 spots to fill.
Yes, you do. You don't have you have a lot of room for
people.
Yeah, I guess surprises people. Kairi Sane might be in it as well.
Who?
She's Kairi Sane. She won the Mae Young Classic tournament. I think she has a pretty good chance of being in as well. If not just because of that, she's fighting for the women's title currently, I think, in NXT. So, the last match I saw for the women's division was
Who's
at
the NXT champion
Takeover.
for the
Ember
women's?
Moon. Ember Moon is. I assume because the last match I saw was Peyton Royce, Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, and Kairi Sane for the women's title, the vacant NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um,
I remember
so
watching that.
all four of them will probably be in. If maybe not Peyton, maybe honestly, yeah, Peyton and Billie Kay will probably both go in there. Billie Kay was on the main roster for a little while, if you remember. I think she had a couple matches on the main roster. So
whatever happened to those two Lovebird people?
Mike and Maria Kanellis?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. I'm pretty sure they're still employed, but nothing came of it.
They don't even exist anymore.
They don't. Nope.
You think they'll enter the Rumbles?
Well, I think they had some personal issues a while back. No, I don't. Maria Kanellis is a garbage wrestler. Sorry, but it's true.
So is
Don't even say her name. It's been too long. Gavin, don't
Hold
do
on.
it. Don't do it.
I'm trying to remember her name.
Don't say it.
I cannot remember her
All
name.
read everything. Eva Marie.
She was a terrible wrestler.
I know.
Do you think she'll be in the Rumble?
No, I hope not. Jesus.
Where is she?
She's gone, dude. She left WWE a while back. She got
Really?
released, yeah, a good long time ago. I think before Mania.
I forgot about that.
And Mania's a ways away, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know. I guess that's all the predictions I have. Maybe Beth. Oh, I just said that. Yeah, I don't.
Do you think the Undertaker will come back for the Rumble?
The men's Rumble. The women's Rumble. He'll be the new women's champion.
That would be terrifying.
They could take him. He's too old.
Then you could have Nia Jax versus the Undertaker at
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Or you have Nikki Cross versus the Undertaker. There you go. Sanity. I'm ready for Sanity to come to the main roster.
I know that Nikki Cross versus the Undertaker sounds like a good match.
Yeah, it does actually. No, I don't think Taker will return in the Rumble. I think I would like, of course, Balor to win the Rumble. I know that's not happening. Cena's probably gonna win it because there's rumor that he doesn't have too long left. And honestly, you don't have to look at a rumor to think of that.
Nah,
I mean, he's already doing more movies and stuff, and he's getting older, and he's done everything. So one more world title win. Good way to end the story for John Cena. Of course, temporarily till he comes back and jobs someone out like The Rock always does. But
sorry, Eric. Eric Rowan.
Oh yeah.
Last guy he jobbed out.
Sad guy. Anyway, I think we're good. I think that's about it. That'll do us, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'd like to plug. I've been playing WWE Mayhem on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually enjoying it a lot. It's pretty fun. It's you've played the Marvel fighting game, right? Or at least seen it. The Clash or
Contest of Champions.
Yeah. So it's just that, except they have reversals and they have pinning and stuff. So if you feel like downloading a game on your phone, I do recommend that game. It's very fun. Right now my team is Randy Orton, The Rock, and Braun Strowman. So
well, that's definitely a dream team there.
Yeah. I just got The Rock this morning. It's a fun game. I enjoy it a lot. And it doesn't take that long to get premium crates where you can get really strong wrestlers. If you log on every day, you get like 25 premium, and then you get 25 more the next day. You get 50, then you get 75, then you get 125, and eventually you can get 500 in one day. So, and it's 1,000 per crate. So it doesn't take long. And then they have a story mode where you're in story crates and stuff. So it's not. Some of these games, they're a little egregious where it's just like, okay, you can get a crate by earning it in the game, but it's gonna take you 2 weeks, or you could just pay $5 real quick if you want,
Yeah.
But I have no problem finding this one free. I just play it whenever I'm bored or whenever I'm not doing anything, and or whenever I'm taking a dump, and it's a nice, you get one match in per dump, and it's good, it's fun. So Just thought I'd plug that because I actually enjoy the. They had WWE Immortals a while back, if you remember.
Yeah.
Which I downloaded and I had it for a little while, and
It
it was
was okay.
okay, but it felt a little bland.
It would definitely. It's like they tried to redo Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was just Mortal Kombat, but with a WWE skin on it, and it wasn't that good.
It really wasn't. It was good for a little while, but then it just wasn't.
Yeah. So WWE Mayhem, there you go. That was my plug. We're not sponsored, sadly, but I recommend downloading that game. Ready to close this?
Yeah.
Okay. You can follow us on Twitter at CarAlarm Podcast.
You can follow our page on Facebook. You can go in the little search bar, type in @sounding car alarm. You can find our page with all our videos, all that. Just give us a like, a follow, however you go about following a Facebook page.
Subscribe to us on YouTube as well. We are Car Alarm.
Peace out.
Thanks for watching.